Okay, I'm just going to mute all of you. Okay, let's begin with our session. Just want to start Kirtan with a small Kirtan. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Pavanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol. Welcome all of you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, welcome. Yes, so let's begin with our program. Yes, thank you. So today's topic is very, very interesting. How to overcome the greatest difficulties in life, right? So we'll understand this topic from the viewpoint of Bhagavad Gita. So we've been attending this Gita Gyan course, right? 18 days course. Now that we have started with batch number 9 and we have done 5 days of Bhagavad Gita. So how do we apply this Bhagavad Gita principles in our life? It's all about this session. And it's a practical session. How can we face life? How can we face so many situations in our life with the help of Bhagavad Gita? Right? So let's see what is the practical application of principles of Bhagavad Gita in our daily lives. Yes, to begin with, this session is dedicated to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, and we are inspired by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, the spiritual master, governing body commission, and also Minister for Congregational Development. Okay, Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. So let's begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. Yes. Who wants to read this slide here? So we'll keep this session very, very interactive. Okay, it's not going to be the regular session. It's all about discussion, interaction. Yes, let's hear from both the sides, not just one side. Yes, who wants to read this?
May I?
Yes, please.
Can you escape problems in this world?
Yes, yes. So we want to understand whether can we really escape from the problems. What do you all say? Can we really escape from the problems of this world?
No,
No.
Mataji.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at
Shukapti Mataji says not at all. Prabhuji says not at all. Okay, nobody says yes, I can solve it.
By the grace of Lord Krishna only, ma'am. Sorry,
Yes.
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Only by grace of Lord Krishna we can solve the problems. It's very nice. Yes, so let's see what Lord has to talk about difficulties. Yeah. Mamupritya punarjanma dukhalayam shashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha samsiddhim paramam gataha. Anybody wants to read the translation?
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I?
Yes, please, Mataji. Yeah,
After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Yes, so let us try to understand that. Yes, let us try to understand, see if at all we have some gadget or, okay, we have bought some new car, all right. And, we buy it from a service station, right? From a showroom. And in the showroom, the person is going to say that you're not supposed to use these, these buttons or these controls while you are using this control. Say, for example, there's some dependency. If you use this control, you're not supposed to use this control. Okay, and we have heard this and we have also read it in the manual. You're not supposed to use this. Do we really try to, go against? Do we really try to experiment it? We might get scared, right? The car might get, spoiled, or the controls might get, something spoiled out, and we won't have a solution for that. So we really don't try to go against it, isn't it? And we usually try to follow, right? Do you all agree? Do you all agree? They say that, okay, please don't
Yes,
use this while you are operating this. Or for example, police say that don't drink and drive, right? Or else you have to be very extra careful while you're driving in the night. We try to follow these instructions, isn't it? For our own safety, for our own well-being. Same way, the manufacturer will be having a much better idea about the product, right? We all agree to this, right? Say, for example, there is a product designer, there is a mobile designer. So he or she knows the intricacies of that product, right? What is there? What are the limitations of this mobile, right? When does it operate well? Or by downloading too many apps, the phone might get, slowed down, and all that the manufacturer knows very well, right? We all agree to this, right? Right? So, right? So who is the creator of this whole universe? And the person who is the creator is saying here that Mamupetya Punarjanma Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. What does it say? What does he say about this world? He says that this world is, what is this world?
Dukhalaya.
it's not certain.
Not certain. It's very temporary, right? Why is it temporary? Why is it so temporary? Lord has created this world in such a way that we don't have to stay here forever. Right? Can we use anything for permanent? Can we use any gadget, any utility for a long time? For a permanent as an unlimited time? Not possible, right? There is a time limit for every. There's a time limit for everything, right? Every object. Same way, Lord is saying that this world is full of misery and it's a temporary world. But people, the great souls who are yogis in devotion, as in the people who are bhaktas or who follow the instructions of the Lord, or right, they will not return to this world. Right? That's what we should try to understand. And because they have attained the highest perfection. And what is the highest perfection? Highest perfection is not to come back to this material world. Right? Highest perfection is not to suffer in this material world. Highest perfection is that we have found a permanent solution to all our problems. Right? That is the best solution, right? That yes, I have solved the problem entirely. And what is that entirely? That is, going out of this misery world, right? Misery world, isn't it? So let's see what we can understand here from a person called Arjunacharya. Okay, there was a great devotee by name Arjunacharya, and he used to write commentary on Bhagavad Gita. And one day he happened to go through this shloka, that is 9.22, which says, Tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. What is this yogakshemam vahamyaham? Yogakshemam vahamyaham is taking care of you personally, right? It means that I will preserve what you lack and I deliver what you don't have. And I'm going to take care of you personally, is what Bhagavad Gita verse is saying. And this Arjunacharya gets it out. How is it possible? Say, for example, if we have any problems in our life, okay, can a president or a person who is in a very high position, can he come and solve our problem? Say, for example, Prime Minister, can he come and solve our day-to-day problems? Is it possible? No, right? Is it possible for a prime minister or a great person to come and solve our day-to-day problems? He will send, he has kept all the governments, right? There's so many departments, security, police, right? We approach them for solving some of our problems, for security or whatever, right? Same way, even Arjunacharya gets it out. That how is it possible that the Supreme Lord is saying that I am going to take care of you personally? Is it possible? I was thinking maybe he's going to send some of his agents. His agents could be some of the devatas and the demigods who are all taking care of so many departments, right? They are going to solve our problems. But how is it Lord is saying that he'll personally take care? I don't think it's correct. So what does he do? In this verse, Ananyas Chinta Yantoma Yejana Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. So he reads this, and what does he do? He's going to scratch that line, right? And he says, no, I personally bear the burden and deliver what they lack. I don't think it's right. And the translation goes like this: those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I personally bear the burden and deliver what they lack, and I preserve what they have. This verse says like this, and Arjunacharya is unable to believe. So he just scratches it. Then what happens next day? Arjunacharya's wife is there at home. And she says, of course, they are very poor. He's a Brahmana. And Brahmanas were supposed to go out, and they usually beg for charity. And, people give some grain, some fruits, vegetables, whatever they have at home. And with that, they'll run their life. And Arjunacharya is feeling very frustrated that, what is it Lord is saying, I take care of you? How is it possible? I'm going through so many things in my life. I don't think it's possible. So he'll scratch. And next day, his wife sees two beautiful boys. One dressed in yellow dress and the other in blue dress. And they're looking very beautiful, and they're carrying loads and loads of, grocery and salt, oil, ghee, vegetables, so many things to the house. And she asks, hey, who are you boys? Who are you two people? Who sent you? Why are you carrying all this, and why are you bringing it to our house? I don't think you have come to the right address. Then this boy says, no. Your husband has sent us. We are his delivery boy. So we have got all this grocery. He has sent it. So she gets very surprised. How is it possible that my husband has sent so many things? Okay, you please stay. I'll prepare something out of this foodstuff and I'll feed you something. You please eat something and go. Don't go like that on. And said, no. We have to go for the next work. Otherwise, your husband is going to whip our back. Don't know about your husband. He has done like that, and they'll show their backs. And on their back, with just like how we whip with a stick or a rope, there'll be a mark, right? Same way on both the boys, there is a mark on their back. And this lady gets very upset. What is it? On small, tender boys, how can my husband behave, like this? It's not at all correct on my husband's part. And she feels very upset. But the boys also, in the meantime, they run away. They just go away because they are scared of their husband. So they just leave the place. And in the meanwhile, Arjunacharya comes home and is very surprised to see so many grocery. And she has prepared so many items. The food items, she has made some kheer, many sabji, so many rice items, right? Chapati, roti, and all that. They don't have proper meals every day. And today they're having so many items to eat. Arjunacharya is surprised. And he asks, how did you get all these items? Who got all these groceries to you? And wife says that it's you who have ordered, right? The two boys came to deliver so many foodstuffs. And I also saw that Those boys were getting scared of you. It seems you have whipped their back also. Why have you behaved in such a rude manner with those two boys? Is what the lady asked. And the husband realizes, can you please explain me how do they look? How do they appear? Can you explain me, describe me? Yeah. One boy was wearing, yellow dhoti. He was wearing some garland. He was wearing, yes, I remember he was wearing a peacock feather also on his head. And what about the other boy? Was he wearing navy blue? Yes, he was wearing a navy blue dhoti. And was he fair in color? Yes, that boy was fair in color. And the one with peacock, he was very dark in color. Oh, is that so? And then Arjunacharya feels that it's none other than the Supreme Lord, Krishna and Balaram. They have come to deliver the groceries personally. I cannot believe that they have done this. That's what Arjunacharya feels, and he feels very upset at what he has done. And Arjunacharya finally understood that, yes, Lord actually delivers everything personally. He's there to take care of his devotees personally. It's not that he's not there. He's there in some world. He doesn't know what is my condition. He don't know what all I'm going through. No, it's not like that. He knows each and every feeling of ours, actually. So then Arjunacharya understands that. And actually, there's one more story that I would like to say. That is Akbar Birbal story. Okay, what happens? There is, you all know Akbar Birbal, right? So Akbar supposed to be an emperor. And Akbar asked Birbal, what is it your Lord, your God, personally appears to deliver his devotees? It seems I have heard in Bhagavatam that he delivered an elephant called Gajendra, and he delivers so many human beings here. Why is it that your Lord comes personally? Doesn't he have any, personally, assistants? Doesn't he have any assistants to take care? He can send so many assistants, right? So many agents are there, right? Why should he come personally, being the Lord? He asked this question. And then Birbal thinks a very nice solution for that. Okay, let me answer you to this, king the next day. He says. And next day, what happens? Akbar is having a grandson, okay, very cute grandson, small boy, 3-4 years boy. And this Birbal, what he plans to do is he creates one imitation doll who just looks like this boy, the grandson of Akbar. Okay. And this Akbar is sleeping in his room. Okay, king is having a big room, right? He's sleeping. And he happens to get up in the morning. And these people, when Chikan comes out to see through the window, this Birbal and all other ministers, and there are so many servants, they'll be showing this, this imitation doll to the king. And king thinks as if it is like my grandson. Oh, my grandson, he's playing there. He's feeling very happy. And suddenly, Birbal does, he'll put that doll into the water. They'll just throw the doll into the water. And what does Birbal think? Anybody wants to guess? Oh, sorry, the Akbar thinks. What does Akbar think? And who has fallen into the water? Is it the doll or his own grandson?
Grandson.
Yeah, that was the motto. That is the plan all about. That Birbal wants to make Akbar feel that his grandson is drowning in the water. Okay, and everybody starts screaming, oh, king, your grandson has fallen down into the water. Please, somebody come and save. Please, somebody come and save. Oh, no, I don't know how to swim. Everybody is trying to escape. And Akbar is like frightened. Oh my God, if my grandson drowns in the water, who's going to, carry forward the whole dynasty? Right? And Akbar comes running, and what he does? He doesn't even wait for a single minute, and he just jumps into the water. And he tries to save the imitation doll, which looks like his grandson, a big doll. Okay, and then he's like surprised. What is this? Looks like a doll. It's not my grandson at all. And then Birbal now is supposed to say that, Lord King, why did you not wait for some of your servants, powerful servants, to swim and protect your grandson? Why did you personally jump into the water? What was the reason? What do you think that Akbar would have told the answer? Why did Akbar personally jump into the water to save his grandson? He could have waited, right? What is the reason? Why did he jump into the water immediately?
The love he has for his grandson is not equal the servants has to that boy.
Yes, Mataji, that's correct. He won't be having that faith, right? That they'll be able to save or not save. I cannot wait for a single minute. I have to protect my grandson. Yes, the love that Akbar had for his own grandson, the same way Birbal clarifies Akbar that even the Lord also has too much, very, lot of love for his devotees or for his children. All the living beings are his own children. So he cannot wait for anybody else to come and deliver. So he personally comes to deliver his own people. Just like how you jumped into the water by looking at, your grandson drowning. Same way, we can understand the analogy so well, right? Same way, the Lord also does for all of us. We're so loving like that, like a grandfather or a father, right? So, like this, Lord shows so much of mercy. We should understand. And here we have another wonderful story of Draupadi. Okay, a Draupadi, she is an epitome of surrender. Draupadi actually is a very good friend. There are five rasas, five relationships through which a living being can share love with the Supreme Lord. And one is Shantarasa, that is passive. Okay, just like trees or the rivers and mountains and all of that. Okay, or the land. And there is Shanta Dasya. Dasya is in as a servant mode. As in, one should feel that when a servant, or just like Hanuman who served Lord Ram, right? And the other is Sakya, as in friendship, like Arjuna or Draupadi. So Draupadi was serving Krishna as Dasya also, servant mood also, and also in Sakya, as friend also. So both the moods she was serving Krishna. At times she'll serve like a very humble servant, and at times she'll, they'll joke, talk, and all that, right? Same way like how Arjuna, Krishna, and all the Pandavas, same way Draupadi also is. So like this, we have five rasa, that is Shanta, Sakya, Dasya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. That is passive, active, friendship, parental, and conjugal love. And Draupadi had a very nice relationship and very good friend with Krishna. And what happened suddenly, somehow Krishna's hand was cut due to some reason. Many people say that it was cut due to, Sudarshan Chakra, but that's not the case, is what many people say, many acharyas say, because Sudarshan Chakra is his own weapon, so it can't cut the Lord's hand. Due to somehow Lord's hand was cut. And this Draupadi, she's the queen, she's the wife of all the Pandavas, right? Yudhishthira is the king of the whole entire earthly planet, right? And being wife of Yudhishthira Maharaj, Draupadi is the queen, and all these royal people, how do they stay? How do they wear? What kind of clothing they wear? Like very luxury, right? Very costly, and the lifestyle that they lead is very, very exemplary. And this Draupadi, without even thinking for a second, she didn't even call any maid, any servant, nobody, none of her sakhis she called. Immediately, whichever sari she was wearing, the pallu, she just immediately tears that pallu and she ties to the hand of Krishna. And that's how, immediately, spontaneously she reacts to serve the Supreme Lord. And now Supreme Lord is very, very happy to see his servant or his friend reciprocating like that, to this situation. Now we are leading to, we can understand now what we are leading to, right? Here, Draupadi tear her own sari and she tries to ties to the hand of Krishna. And here we can see in Asat Sabha what Krishna, how did he try to return, right? Reciprocate to her love. Yes. So what happened is, there was a Asat Sabha. I know you all are aware of this, that it's a part of Mahabharata, wherein Kauravas very, very envious with Pandavas, right? Kauravas can never tolerate the Pandavas' good nature, their pious, their the well-behaved nature that they have, and also they were supposed to be the legal kings. But Kauravas always were envious of all Pandavas, and Pandavas were there, and Duryodhana happens to send an invitation saying that let's have a gambling, let's have a match. And what happens usually is that in Kshatriyas especially, they're not supposed to say that no, I'm not interested, or no, I don't have practice. No. Kshatriyas cannot deny if anybody comes and challenges them. Let's play a gambling match, or let's fight. If anybody instigates, they're supposed to come forward. They cannot say that no, like a Brahmana or other Varnas, they cannot behave. So Yudhishthir Maharaj, being the elder of among all the Pandavas, he had to accept the invitation. Of course, Yudhishthir Maharaj knew that this could lead to impiety, because gambling, we all know that gambling is supposed to be a prohibited action, right? It is not supposed to be done, because during gambling we tend to lose our state of mind, our equilibrium, right? Mental equilibrium, and we have to say so much of lies, or we have to take shelter of so many irreligious things. That is why Yudhishthira wanted to avoid, but Duryodhana was behind Yudhishthira and he wanted this gambling match to happen. So Yudhishthira agreed and he called all the Pandavas, and they were all invited to the Hastinapura palace, and everybody were royally received. Very nicely they were welcomed. There was a grand dinner feast. Draupadi was given a nice, separate room, chamber. The queens will be there in the separate chambers, and kings and all in the separate chambers. So there was a royal entry of them, and everybody were happy, rejoicing, making jokes and all that. And next day, there was a gambling match. And this Shakuni, we all know Gandhari's brother, Shakuni had a vengeance on Pandavas, that he had to take revenge on this Pandavas. So he had a plan that somehow the dice that they had used was a tricky dice actually. Whenever they throw the dice, it used to behave in such a way that Shakuni or Duryodhana used to predict. Okay, and these Yudhishthira and Pandavas, they were not aware of it. And they had to accept this game because it was in their destiny. Right? So many things are beyond our control or our destiny, right? Same way this Asat Sabha was also done. And what happened is that this gambling match began. And as usual, as predicted by Yudhishthira, they started losing one after the other. So in gambling, they have to put a stake, right? We lose few things, like they put money or chivalry or horses or their kingdom, money or family members, so many things like that. People lose. Same way Yudhishthira Maharaj also lost his kingdom, his wealth, his complete acquisition, everything, whatever positions he had, everything he lost. And in the last play of that match, they had to lose Draupadi also, because they had lost, everybody were lost. So their wife is Draupadi, right? When they all have lost the match, it means they have become slaves to Kauravas. Their own brothers, of course, they're all cousin brothers, but still, match is a match, game is a game. And even Draupadi was lost to them. So what happened here? Draupadi, at that time, Draupadi was in an contaminated state. The women who has to undergo the menstrual cycle, she was during that period. And the wives, the queens during that time, they'll be in a separate chambers. They'll not come outside. They have to follow some rules and regulations. So like that, they'll be aloof, secluded. And what happens? Duryodhana says to Dushyasana that go and bring Draupadi, because now she is also a slave to all of us. So she should also be present in this sabha. Usually sabha means, sabha is always satsabha. Satsabha means always religious people have to be there, and all dharmic things have to be discussed. But an asat sabha, something exactly opposite, and which is against the religion's principles. So now this Dushyasana goes to Draupadi and he starts shouting. He just calls very commandingly that, come down, you have to come to the assembly now. Then she gets very angry. She says that, how can you speak to me like this? You're not supposed to talk to me like this. Don't you know who am I? I'm the queen, the wife of Yudhishthira. How can you talk to me like this? Then Dushasana says, no, there is no queen now. Your husbands have all lost in the gambling. So you are also slaves to all of us. So you belong to us now. So come down right away. Then she says, no, you cannot demand like this. You cannot call me like this. Then before she could conclude the sentence, he will just catch hold of her hair. And he just tries to drag her all the way from her chamber to the assembly, in the hall, where everybody are there. Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, Daumya, Vidura, all kinds of, elderly people are there actually. And this Dushasana is also not an ordinary person. This Dushasana, Duryodhana, they're all Maharathis. Maharathis means they can kill 1,000 people at a single moment, at one time. It's so powerful. So much power they have. And this Duryodhana tells Dushasana that just start, taking her sari out. Then Dushasana starts pulling and taking away her sari, undraping her sari. And she doesn't know what to be done. Because being a female, being a lady, she's completely helpless. She doesn't have just one husband for her protection, 5 husbands, and they're not ordinary. Right? Yudhishthira is the representative of Yamaraj, Dharma. Right? And Bhima is as powerful as 10,000 elephants. So powerful he is. Arjuna is a great warrior. Like Gudakesha, they say. He was conquered, sleep. That sort of a person is Arjuna. And Nakula, Sahadevas are so talented, so intelligent. So not at all ordinary, husbands are. And she is a very, very chaste and religious wife. Draupadi has come from a fire. She is not born like an ordinary lady. She is born from the fire when her father, Drupada, does a sacrifice. Big sacrifice. She has come out from the fire actually, Draupadi. And she's completely helpless what to do. So initially she tries to hold her sari tightly. But Dushasana is very powerful. He's just pulling like anything. And later she tries to hold her sari with her mouth, in between her teeth. And she tries to lifting her hand. But this Dushasana again is continuing. And this Draupadi doesn't know what to do. And she just immediately lifts her hand up, up in the air. And she started screaming, calling out Lord Krishna's names. Govinda, Dwarkadish, please protect me, please protect me, please protect me. Like this. And immediately Krishna, starts rendering, delivering meters and meters and meters of sari. And this Dushasana is trying to pull the sari, pull, and finally gets tired. And that was the state of Draupadi. So we have to understand that there's so many situations that happen, even in the devotee's life or ordinary people's lives also. But few things are beyond our control, beyond our imagination also. We can't even take control of that situation, just like how Draupadi was completely helpless, right? She has all the powerful husbands. She has all the money, wealth, everything. But none came for her rescue. But who came ultimately for her rescue who is it? The Lord. Yes, Supreme Lord. Correct. That too, only when we call out, Krishna comes for our protection. Just like how Draupadi called. So we have to call for our protection. You have to pray, scream, shout. Right? So that's what he is saying, that what is Krishna's protection? Krishna gives the protection like this. Ananya Shinta Yatoma Ye Jana Pariyupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktana Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. What is Yogakshemam Vahamyaham? It is I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Right? We also have heard this Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. This slogan, this title is used by one very famous organization. Who is it? Yogakshemam. Who?
LIC?
Life insurance.
Life insurance.
Life insurance.
Yes, Mataji, that's right. Yogakshemam
LIC,
Vahamyaham.
life insurance.
Yes, can really insurance help us? Can they really?
They will not help us. They will try to avoid helping us, no?
Yes, Mataji, that's right. They can
When actually we'll give some installments, and then when we want, recently we have experienced, they will say, finally we'll give you only some 20% or 5%, then the rest of it you sit and break your head over it. That's all.
This is the
Only God. Finally, one more thing, we experienced that God really helped us even in this kind of an issue. So he is the one who can really help us, and he knows what to give, when to give. That is very clear. We experienced it now.
Yes, Mataji, that's true. Yes, and Draupadi. Yes, thank you, Mataji. So Draupadi did not just went through this Asatsava, not just alone. There's so many other insults that she had to undergo. What happened when they were in exile? All the Pandavas, there was Jayadratha. Jayadratha is Gandhari's daughter's husband. And Jayadratha happened to see Draupadi alone in the forest. She's plucking flowers. And he starts, talking very, very insultingly, very shamelessly actually. That you are such a beautiful woman. You're standing alone in the forest. Why, your husbands are all beggars. They don't have anything. Why don't you just leave them and come to me? I'm so rich, so much of wealth. I can keep you as my wife. You can be very happy with me. Is what Jayadratha starts, insulting and, again and again pleading and, irritating her. And she starts telling, don't you know who are my husbands? What is their powers? Have you forgotten what is the power of Bhima? Have you forgotten who is Arjuna? She starts telling, but Jayadratha, without listening to her, he just, catches her, pulls her to his chariot and he ties her and he starts, taking her away. And she starts screaming, Draupadi, and Pandavas could hear that. They'll understand that it's Draupadi who is calling for help. And Bhima and Arjuna, they start to chase this Jayadratha and they'll catch hold of him. But they'll not kill him because Jayadratha is Gandhari's son-in-law. So they have to leave him alive. And they just shave their head. Usually Kshatriyas, if at all they're insulted, it's as good as death for them. So that's why Pandavas, what do? They just shave their heads, shave his head, and they'll just leave him. That go and leave. Just leave. I'm going to, give this as a boon to you. This life is a boon to you. Just go and live piously. Is what Yudhishthira Maharaj says. And Jayadratha very shamefully, they just leave that place, and he'll forget it. Then that's not the end. Again, there was one more test for her, for Draupadi. What happened one day? They're all in the forest, and Akshay Patra was something very, very special boon given by Lord Krishna to Draupadi. Right? Do you all know? Have you heard of Akshay Patra?
Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. It gives continuous food, right? Unlimited food or unlimited grains, like that it gives. Akshay Patra. We have Akshay Patra Foundation also in Scotland. Yeah. Right? So Akshay Patra is something very, very special. And what happened that day, Draupadi had cooked the food. Okay, all the Pandavas had taken their lunch. And that time, Durvasa Muni, who is very, very famous for his anger, and if there's some disturbance, he's going to give a curse actually. Will not even see what could have gone wrong. So Durvasa Muni is very powerful yogi, very great mystic yogi. We also have seen in Ambarish Maharaj pastime, right? The same Durvasa Muni also visits these people, Pandavas also, when they were in the forest. And that day, everybody had their lunch, and it seems the last person who's going to take food is Draupadi. And once she has her food, she washes her hand. Then again, we can't ask for the food again. Again, she has to prepare, and again she has to cook, and again that Akshay Patra will give a lot of unlimited food. And then again at the end, if she takes, then again no more food is available for some more time. So like that, it is designed. And as Durvasa Muni happens to come at the wrong time when everybody have had their food, Draupadi finished, and she has just cleaned the vessel and kept. That time Durvasa Muni enters with so many of his disciples. And guess what? Now everybody are very, very tense. All the Pandavas, they have lost their kingdom, everything. They have nothing with them except for Krishna's guidance and this Akshay Patra. And this Durvasa Muni comes there, and what happens is that I'm just going to mute all of you. Then Krishna comes there for this, for their protection, and Krishna happens to see that. Just check once Akshay Patra, in that vessel, if there's any one grain of rice also, just let me see. He has. And in the hand of Draupadi, actually, there's a small, in the fingernail, small piece of the rice, grain left in the hand of Draupadi. And also in the vessel, also there's a small grain of bit of that rice. And Krishna happens to take that in his mouth. That's it. And all these Durvasa Muni and all his disciples starts feeling stomach full all of a sudden. Oh my God, we are feeling so full. We can't eat anything now. How can we face this Pandavas? We can't tell anything to them. We already told that we are going to come for lunch, and we went for the bath. And in the meanwhile, everything is like we are feeling so full. What do we do? So they say that they'll come and suddenly we are not all feeling like eating anything. We are feeling so full. We are even getting the burp of having kheer, the sweet rice. So we don't want to eat anything. Please just forgive us. So what Durvasa Muni says. And then Krishna just smiles looking at the Pandavas, and Pandavas are like, thank you, Krishna. You saved us again. Like this, we have to understand here that Lord is Hrishikesha, right? The master of all the senses. And if at all we satisfy the Supreme Lord, actually, the entire world gets satisfied. That's how when Durvasa Muni and all his disciples start feeling full in their stomach. So it's a very nice, test that was taken by was about to happen to Pandavas, but Krishna saved them again. Right? Multiple tests that Pandavas had to go through and give. But later, what is the one final instruction that Lord Krishna wants to give in Bhagavad Gita to all of us? Is that Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Moksha Ishyami Ma Shuchaha. Yes, today is a very important day, right? Moksha Ekadashi. We just observed recitation of all 700 verses yesterday, and today we are all fasting on the Mahadvadashi, right? On this auspicious occasion. So Lord is saying that abandon all varieties of religion. We might have been coming from many backgrounds. There's so many backgrounds, right? Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh, or even in our Hinduism also, there's so many sampradayas inside, right? The sampradayas, subcaste, right? We say subcaste, we belong to this subcaste, we belong to that subcaste, we have this parampara, we have this sampradaya. We say so many things, right? That in our place, this how it has to be done. Our function has to be performed like this. Our program has to be done like this. So many things we say. But Lord says, abandon all those and just surrender unto me. Yes. Now, what is the meaning of surrendering? Who wants to say? What is the meaning of surrender? Why does Lord say that surrender? What is meant by surrender? Is it paying obedience? Sharanagati. What is Sharanagati, Mataji? I mean, by doing what it's called Sharanagati? Is it? Yes, ಹೇಳಿ Mataji.
ಎಲ್ಲ ತ್ಯಜಿಸಿ ನೀನೇ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದನ್ನ.
Okay. So Mataji is saying that we have to leave everything and have complete faith in the Lord. Yes, anybody else wants to say? What is complete surrender?
Sharanagatam.
Sharanagatam. Yes, following the instruction. Can we all relate to our own children? Say,
Complete Samarpana, Mataji. Thanumana Samarpana.
Mana Samarpana. Yes, thank you, Mataji. All of you have joined English class today. Okay. So even children, right? Children are completely dependent on the parent.
Taking Sharanagatam to.
Yes, Mataji. Yes. Okay, thank you. So Lord says that, how we can understand is just like children, right? Children are surrendered to their parents. Don't you all think so? See, children, if at all we say that we have to, please don't disturb. So if at all parents say that you have to take this food or this medicine, they take it completely with blind faith, right? They believe completely, entirely. They don't even doubt their parents, right? So complete dependence on the Lord, on the parents, right? Same way, Sharanagata or complete surrender is nothing but we have to depend on Lord's mercy, just like how Draupadi depended, Pandavas depended, right? Here Draupadi she was
complete faith.
Yes, complete faith, no doubt at all. We just have to have complete faith. Otherwise, what will happen? If at all we have a doubt, what happens? If at all we have a doubt, can we believe Lord? It's difficult, right? We cannot, if at all we have doubt in our hearts or minds. Samshaya vinashyati, Lord says. If at all you have a doubt, then nobody can protect you. That's why we should not have samshaya at all. Complete faith we should have in the words of Lord. And here we can see even from the Arjunacharya story also, right? Tesham yogakshemam vahamyaham. Right? So important to understand that we have to surrender to the Lord. And what does Lord say? If at all we surrender, He's going to deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Right? All our sinful activities, whatever we might have done in our previous lives, knowingly or unknowingly, right? They all will be delivered from those reactions. None of those reactions are going to touch us, right? We will not be bound by that. And Lord says, do not fear, ma shichaha. Do not fear. Just surrender to me. Just follow my instruction. Right? So very, very important. That's why Lord is giving this instruction at the end. Okay. You have told so many things. Arjuna said so many things, right, in the Bhagavad Gita. That the dynasty will be spoiled, there'll be so many sinful reaction, this, that he told. No enjoyment, compassion, all that. But all his compassion was misplaced. Right? That's what happens with us also. If at all we don't surrender to the Lord, we try to, think that I can solve my own problems. I can find solution to my own life. I have so many, I am very intelligent. I have strength. I have power. I have family strength. This strength, that strength, whatever strength we might have. I can solve my own life. I can run my own life. Then there will be so many situations which can happen. Right? What are we going to do? How can we face? Just like how Pandavas had faced. Right? We can understand this from this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, which says what all difficulties this Pandavas had to go through. And if at all they did not depend on Krishna, what would have happened to them? What would have happened? Right? Vishan Mahagne Purushada Darshanat Asad Sabhaya Vanavata Krichritaha Mrude Mrudeni Kamaharatastrato Draunya Shratas Mahare Bhirakshitaha. Who wants to read the translation?
Mataji, can I read?
Yes, please, Mataji.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, 24. My dear Krishna, your Lordship has protected us from a poisoned cake, from a great fire, from cannibals, from the vicious assembly, from sufferings during our exile in the forest, and from the battle where great generals fought. And now you have saved us from the weapon of Ashwatthama. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, Pandavas had to go through so many other difficulties. Like when Bhima was very young, Duryodhana happened to poison him. He had mixed poison in the food. And when he had that food, Bhima, he was tied. His hands were tied, his legs were tied, and there was a big stone which was tied to his stomach, and he was put inside the water. And he drowned inside the water, Bhima, and then he went into the Nagaloka actually. He entered the Nagaloka, and what happened, is that by the grace of Lord, all these Nagas, the serpents, started, biting Bhima. And whatever poison was there inside his body was taken by these snakes. And Bhima happened to get consciousness back. He was alive actually. Again, Krishna again helped him actually. And what happened? Bhima started killing all the serpents, thinking that they are going to attack him. Then he was told that, no, the serpents all tried to take away your poison. So now you please drink this nectar. If you drink this nectar, then you'll become very, very powerful, is what all the Nagaloka Devatas told him. And Bhima happened to drink that nectar and became very powerful, as equivalent of having the strength of 10,000 elephants. That's how Bhima was protected from that situation. And later, when Pandavas were called for a vacation, in a palace, and that house was built with lac, the wax. And when they had their food in the night they were resting. And Duryodhana had this plan of, killing them alive by lighting fire to the complete lac house. And somehow Vidura understood this. He got to know that these people have a bad intention behind sending Pandavas on this vacation. And Vidura came all the way to, and informed Yudhishthira, and somehow very smartly they had to, escape through the chamber, underground chamber, and they came out. And they all thought that these Pandavas are killed in that wax house, all the Kauravas. That's how, very intelligently they had to escape and protect their lives. Just see how much enmity Kauravas had, being their own cousins, right? And then that was not enough. And then Asat Sabha had to happen with Draupadi. Just imagine how much, enrages the husbands would have been, all the 5 husbands, when Draupadi had to go through that situation. Now, Bhima, actually, he made a promise that I am going to kill all these Kauravas personally. I will kill all these 100 Kauravas personally, and I am going to kill this Dushyasana, and I'm going to drink the blood of Dushyasana, is what he took Shapata actually, Bhima. And Duryodhana says that Draupadi, come and sit on my lap, he says. And this Karna makes a very cheap comment saying that, oh, she's married to 5 people, so it's okay even if she has more than 5. All such very, very negatively they starts commenting on Draupadi. Just how much agitated they would have been, Bhima and all the other Pandavas. Intolerable, actually. Right? And that was not enough. Then the battle of Kurukshetra had to happen, where they were denied the kingdom also. A small villages were asked. Krishna went as a peace messenger. And he asked for 5 villages for Kshatriyas to rule. Because they're all Kshatriyas, they have to do their duty of ruling a village or a place, a land. Right? And these people denied that, no, we will not even give a place where a pin also, even if we put a pin, right, a small area also we are not going to give them, is what they said. Because they knew that Yudhishthira is very able king. Even if we give a small village, he can build a very good empire. And they are not able to do that because of their own weaknesses. Right? So they were denied the kingdom. And that's when Kurukshetra had to happen. And in Kurukshetra, what happened? It's Ashwathama. Who is Ashwathama? The Dronacharya's son. Yes, Dronacharya's son, right? The own teacher of Pandavas and Kauravas. And Ashwathama was very, very, he was supportive of Duryodhana, and he wanted to impress Duryodhana. In order to impress Duryodhana, what did he do? Ashwathama went in the night and he just, put a knife on the neck of all the Upa-Pandavas, the children of the Pandavas who were sleeping in the night. Just imagine how it could have been for Pandavas and Draupadi, that their own children, 5 young children, are killed ruthlessly. The throats are slit, actually. Thinking that, Ashwathama thought that they're all Pandavas, but they were actually Upa-Pandavas, children of the Pandavas. And they were all killed. And when Arjuna dragged this Ashwathama in front of Draupadi, saying that this is the person who have killed all your sons, and I am going to kill him. You just tell me what punishment I should give him. And Draupadi says that, no, please don't punish him. Please don't kill him. Because I can understand that, first of all, first reason she says that he is a Brahmana. He is a son of a Brahmana. And he is the son of your own teacher, Dronacharya. How can we kill him? Right? And she pays obeisance actually to Ashwathama, who has killed Draupadi's all 5 sons. And she also says that now Dronacharya's wife Kripi is all alone. She's a widow now, right? And she has got only 1 son to take care of her. And even if at all he is also dead, then how can she live all alone? So sensitively she's thinking. Who can think like this? Only devotees can think like this, right? She has lost all her sons, and in spite of that, she's thinking on behalf of the other person, Kripi. And she's telling that you just, leave him, Ashwathama. Please don't kill him, she says. And they'll just shave his head, and there's one jewel on his head, actually, Ashwathama, and they'll take out that jewel also, and they'll just leave him. And at the end, this Ashwathama is not happy with that also. Again, there is one single child who is taking birth in the womb of Abhimanyu's wife, Uttara. Right? Abhimanyu is the son of Arjuna. And Abhimanyu is dead in the war, Kurukshetra war. Because all the Kauravas planned and they tactfully killed Abhimanyu. He's just 16 years old. Just imagine, 16 years old boy has died in the war. And his wife Uttara is pregnant. She is having Parikshit in her womb. The Parikshit Maharaj. Right? The great soul, the great leader, the great king, Parikshit, emperor. And Ashwathama releases a nuclear weapon called Brahmastra on that small child, on the womb of that mother. How ruthlessly he could have thought of killing a pregnant lady. That too not by just killing with knife or stick or whatever. He released a nuclear weapon, Brahmastra. And Brahmastra is very, very powerful. It's very, very difficult to take back the Brahmastra. Once it is released, it is going to touch the target. It's like that. And there's a recitation of mantras, they say it's all very subtle. They speak some mantras, and that's how the nuclear weapon will be released. The Astra will go and touch the target only. So like that it is released. And Uttara comes running to Krishna, saying that I'm feeling the symptom that I'm going to have a miscarriage. So please protect me. Even if I have to die, let me die. But let my son be alive. Now, because he is the future of Pandavas, right? He is going to carry forward this Hastinapura. He is going to rule the kingdom. Who will be there otherwise? Right? So she comes to Krishna pleading. And Krishna will enter inside the womb of Uttara, and he just takes back that Brahmastra, inside him. And Parikshit happens to see the Lord personally. So great Parikshit is. That Lord personally comes to deliver him. So is it not Yogakshemam Vahamyaham? Please, all of you tell me. Is he not taking care of the devotees personally? Is he not taking care?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mother.
Care, right? He's taking care.
He's always there for us.
Yes, he's always there. He's always there. We have to have complete faith in him. That's it. That's all. Is then later what happens is that this Kunti Devi, who is the mother of all the 5 Pandavas, and now Hastinapura war is over, Kurukshetra battle is over, and Krishna is retiring. He's just telling that, okay, bye, I'm leaving. I'm going back to Dwarka, my place. I have to take back my other duty. That my duty of giving Bhagavad Gita knowledge is over. And Arjuna has fought the battle. The Pandavas have won now. They are going to rule the kingdom. Let them rule. My duty is over. I'm going back. See? And now Kunti Devi is feeling very, very, upset. She's feeling very sorrowful that Lord is leaving us and going now. Because in all the situation, Lord was there with them. Every situation, so many difficulties they had to go through, and every time Krishna was there to bring them. And now Kunti Devi, for our surprise, is going to tell this very beautiful prayer. And what is it? Vipada santuta shashvat tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yatsyat apunar bhava darshanam. Means what? Anybody wants to read this?
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I?
Please.
Okay. I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again, so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths.
Cool. Yes, Mataji, thank you very much. Very, very beautiful verse. Right? What is Kunti Devi saying? Kunti Devi saying that I wish all those calamities happen again and again. Can anybody say that I want difficulties again and again? Lord, please give me. We say enough is enough, Lord. Now, please at least let me be happy for some more time. अब तो हो गया, अब तो सब खत्म कर दो. अब तो मैं आराम से रहना चाहता हूँ. Right? That's what we all tend to say, right? Enough is enough. How much can I take it? There's a limit for everything we say. But Kunti is telling something surprising. She's asking for calamities. Why? So that
she can remember.
So that
she can remember him all the time.
Yes, she can see the Lord, remember the Lord, have his mercy. Right? Because she says that for seeing you means no longer repeated birth and death. Seeing Lord Krishna is not an ordinary thing. The Supreme Lord. Can anybody have that fortune of seeing Lord? Kunti Devi, Pandavas, they're all so great. They were sitting with each other, talking to each other, having dinner together, sleeping together, enjoying, talking, jokes. Can you all believe, imagine what is their position, Pandava's position? They're all such great people. That's why Lord chose to be with them, right? Why will Lord choose to be with somebody very ordinary? No, they're not very ordinary Pandavas, very rare souls. The best devotees, right? So that's why it is saying that Kunti Devi is saying, seeing Lord is not ordinary. And one who sees Lord will never have any repeated birth or death. Right? Repeated birth is repeated death. If a person takes birth, he has to go through death. If a person takes birth, he has to get, take all the 6 transformations of the body, right? Birth, growth, maintenance, byproducts, dwindling, death. The 6 transformation has to happen if the birth is taken. But if there is no birth, then there are no difficulties, no old age, no diseases, no death. Right? So that is why spirituality or Bhagavad Gita is all about bringing an end to the repeated cycle of birth and death. Right? We say that, okay, this life though maine achhe se I did not enjoy. Let me have a good birth next time. Maybe I'll enjoy much better. Maybe I can have a nice time. Maybe whatever I could not accomplish during this lifetime, let me accomplish next lifetime. No. That those desires, aspirations may be very small in front of these big problems of our lives. Right? What are the main 4 problems of life? Anybody wants to say?
Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi.
Yes. Birth, death, old age, and disease. Main 4 problems of all our lives, which cannot be solved by any material advancement, any planning, any amount of economic advancement. Any amount. It could be whatever strength, whatever struggle, because anybody, even in any celebrity for that matter, can any celebrity say that, can they say that I'm not getting old? Can they hide their old age? Can they escape from the, diseases? Of course, they try to hide it by doing so many surgery, plastic surgery, this, that, but the age is getting, right? They have to go through the old age, right? They have to go through some of the other diseases, right? There's so many diseases actually. Right? So for all these serious problems of our life, the only solution Lord says is that just surrender unto me. Just follow my instructions. Just faithfully believe in the words of the Lord, instructions of the Lord, song of the Lord. Right? Only then we can come out of this real problems of our lives. Right? So did we really get answer to the question? How do we face the difficulties of our life? How do we face the greatest difficulties? How do we overcome? If anybody wants to summarize today's program, what did we learn today?
It's complete devotion to the Lord, surrendering unto Him without asking any questions.
Yes, Prabhuji. Complete surrender. Believing Him. Thank you very much. Abhiram,
ಭಗವಂತನನ್ನ ನಂಬಿ ಕೆಟ್ಟವರಿಲ್ಲ.
ಭಗವಂತನ ನಂಬಿ ಕೆಟ್ಟವರಿಲ್ಲ. Yes, Mataji says that, but all we believe the Lord, then nobody will be sent in vain, right? Everybody will be benefited. Definitely they'll be benefited, is what Mataji is saying. Thank you, Mataji. Anybody else wants to summarize today's teaching that we learned? That how do we face the greatest problems? What is the solution? If at all we have something very, very dangerous situation that we are into, just like Pandavas, what are we supposed to do? Yes, Mataji. Ashwini Mataji, would you like to say something?
Madam, just surrender for Lord Krishna.
Yes, surrender to the Lord. Believe in Him. Take shelter of Him. Right?
Depend on Him as a child.
Depend on Him
on His parents.
Yes, just like how children depend on their parents, right? When they're very young, not when they're old, of course. When they start growing older, they'll say, we know you much better than. No, we know you much. I know better is what they say, right? But when they are very young, they believe, right? They believe us. They depend on us. They seek for our protection. That's how we are supposed to be in front of the Lord. We should behave like small children, thinking that my intelligence is nothing in front of you, Lord. You're so intelligent. You can create the whole entire world. You can make all the planets float. You can take away any difficulty just like magic, right? You can do anything for that matter, right? But I don't have this capacity to face this miserable world, right? It's actually, indeed, this world is, dukkhalaya shashvat. I have to accept that this world is not a place for me to enjoy. It's not the place to seek happiness, right? Only happiness is what Lord can give to us when we surrender. Just like how Arjuna Acharya realized, just like how Akbar realized that Lord comes personally to deliver because He loves His children. That He loves all of us, in fact. It's not that He doesn't love us. He's impartial, actually. He's not partial to anybody. No living being is partial to. Just that we have to realize that by reading and understanding Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so we had a wonderful time recitation yesterday, and we also had a very good understanding of practical application of Bhagavad Gita. Yes, so we have a special offer of Bhagavad Gita yesterday and today. That is just 300 rupees, one Bhagavad Gita cost for any language it could be. So if anybody at all is willing to give this, priceless knowledge, imperishable knowledge to anybody, or sponsor to anybody, or if you would like to distribute to any of your, dear, near and dear ones, please come forward. Make the best use of this opportunity is the request. Okay, so we have this offer only for today, yesterday and today, that is for 300, and then from tomorrow there will be regular prices. Okay, because due to COVID, we had to, everywhere it's, they increased. The Bhaktivedanta Book Trust International, the entire ISKCON, we have raised in the prices because of the printing, the shipping, everything costs, right? It's a cost for everything. But yes, of course, this Bhagavad Gita is completely priceless. We cannot say that this 300 is a cost. It's just a printing charge. And if at all nobody has done yesterday or today, can still have the option, because today we are observing this Mahadvadashi, the Mokshada Ekadashi. So anybody wants to take, please take this benefit of giving away book, or you can take from the temple. You can tell that, I want to distribute this book. I have it. I want the, my friend or my colleague or my, my in-laws or my parents to take this knowledge. And let them benefit from this knowledge. Let them attend this course. If they take the book, they'll think that, yes, I have to read this book. If they don't have the book, they'll not get this idea, right? Then they'll think that, okay, let me try to attend any course if there is any Bhagavad Gita course. Then they'll come to the course, they'll try to hear and try to read, open. Then they'll see through these verses. Ananya Chintayanto Mam, Sarvadharman Parityajya. There's so many beautiful, beautiful verses in this Bhagavad Gita. Right? That's when we can start understanding life in a much better way. Complete perspective of our life will be changed only when we have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, we'll keep cursing our life. Arey, mera jivan to itna hi hai, my life is like this only, nothing better can happen, no fortune can happen, like this, like that. We try to point out only mistakes or some, negative things in our life. But only when we read Bhagavad Gita, we can see life very, very positively. Don't you all think so? Right? We can see life such nice way, right? Lord has given so many to me, so much. Maybe I don't know if I even deserve this, is what we feel. It's so great. He's there with me all the time, trying to open my eyes. But I am not able to do because of my weakness, because I am so much entrapped in this material world. Right? That's what we'll start feeling about us. And then we'll try to make a solution to it. We should try to make a solution to our own life. Lord will not personally come and start telling that, okay, Pooja, come on, get up, start chanting, start reading. No, he is there in the supreme world, his spiritual world. He will send his representatives. He has sent all the instructions through Bhagavad Gita. So it is my duty or our duty that we take it. Right? We cannot held responsible to nature, material nature, or demigods or Lord himself. We ourselves, we are responsible for whatever actions we are doing. Right? So now what action we are going to do is what comes in future. Like how Arjuna took this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and he got complete memory. Right? Moha and his smriti was got back. Right? Same way, if at all we also take this knowledge, our smriti remembrance will come back. That who we are, what we are supposed to do. Right? All this will come back. That's very, very important, which we have forgotten from millions and millions and millions and millions of lifetimes. Okay, so let us all take the best use of Bhagavad Gita, read and apply Bhagavad Gita in our daily life. It's not that because now we are conducting Gita Gyan, let me be associated with Bhagavad Gita and after that, ho gaya, my book is over, I'll just keep it to the side. No, every day should begin with Bhagavad Gita. Every day we have to read the slokas, try to understand, read the commentary given by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who has given wonderful commentary, wonderful explanation with so many examples, so that we can understand who is God, why are we suffering, how do we tolerate the suffering, how do we come out of suffering, right? How can we be happy? How can we practically make best use of our life? How can we make positive things in our life? So like this, Bhagavad Gita will bring a change in our life. That is what is needed in all our lives. Everything we have. There is no scarcity of anything, just the scarcity of only Bhagavad Gita and the Lord's instructions. That's it. If we have that in our life, we can be rest assured that we are under direct protection of the Lord. We don't have to depend on insurance. Neither we have to depend on any of our family members. Neither we have to depend on our destiny, our karma, etc., etc., etc. Right? We can just be free then. That yes, Lord is there to take care of me. Any difficulties, if at all is there, He is going to give, and He is going to take care of me. That should be our spirit. We should not be scared of any difficulty, right? Arjuna had to fight in the war. He said, even by fighting, you can be Krishna conscious. Right? Same way, we have to lead our life by fighting, facing every day, thinking that I'm working for God. That should be the takeaway of today's lesson. Anybody has got any questions, comments? Anybody wants to say any opinion? Anybody wants to share any of your experience? Please come forward. The class is over. Anybody wants to speak? You all are welcome. It's an open platform. Cab, welcome all of you to speak something if at all you feel you're okay to express anything. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Actually,
Can you
Prabhuji,
hear me, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, one by one. Yes, Suma Mataji.
Can you hear me, Mataji?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Pranam.
We are very, very, very lucky to have a so inspirational speaker like you.
Thank you,
You
Mataji.
take so much of energy and all what you say, so much of you say what I don't not getting the words. You're so great, Mataji. I'm very, very, we are very, very lucky to have a speaker.
I'm not great at all, Mataji. It's all.
Dandavat Pranam. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you, Mataji. God bless you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. All glory to Prabhupada and my Gurudev. Yes. Yes, Mataji, Premlata wanted Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Yes,
Premlata here.
Yes,
I already attended
yes.
GG 8, and I got addicted to Prabhuji's way of, and you both are the same. You're so addictive. And I saw you in the last day of our program. I saw you and Nandan, and I was so happy. The moment I saw, I told him, even if whoever it is, I will join. And then when I knew it is, I just registered and joined. And it's like as